Thank you. I was just thinking, it's Nirjala Ekadasi, we should do quiet Guru Puja, so that we save our energy. But after attending Rubin Prabhu's Kirtan, it's like, no, that's necessary to have enthusiastic Kirtan so that we forget about Nirjal and we and focus just to please Radha Gokulananda. So with that mood, we'll sing Jai Radha Madhav. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare. Krishna Jaya Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman, Sita Ram Lakshmana Hanuman. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jum Vishnupad Paramahansa Pravijakacharya Ashtotar Shri Śrimad Abhay Chanarvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. ISKCON BBT Founder His Divine Grace A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Bhakta Vrinda Ki. नामाचार्य शील हरिदास ठाकुर की. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि श्री गौर भक्तविंद की. जय जय श्री श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन धाम की. मथुरा वृंदावन धाम की. नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की. शंख क्षेत्र पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र से जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की. गंगा माई यमुना माई की. भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की. से हरिनाम संकीर्तन की. शीला प्रभुपाद ट्रांसेंडेंटल बुक डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की. निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga. Srila Prabhupada ki. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Soyam Rupa Kadamahyam Tadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagra Chatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanustute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanevyo Vaishnavevyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Canto 3, chapter 11, entitled Calculation of Time from Atom, verse number 7. Nimesa Stri Lavogeya Amnataste Trayakshana Kshanan Pananch Vidu Kastham Laghuta dasa panchacha Nimesastri lavogeya Amanataste trayakshana Kshanan pancha vidukashtham Laghuta dasa panchacha Nimesastri lavogeya Amnataste trayakshana Kshanan pancha vidukashtham Laghuta dasha panchacha Amnataste trayakshana Panchacha
Nimeshastri lavogeya
Nimesastri lavogeya
Amnataste trayakshanaha Shanan pancha vidukashtam Laghuta dasha panchacha
Laghuta dasha panchacha
Nimesastai lavujnane
Nimesastri lavogeya
Amnataste trayakshana Shanan pancha vidukshastam Laghuta dasha panchacha
Panchacha
Nimeshastri lavogeya
Nimesastri lavogeya
Ananataste trayashana Nanpancha vidukashtam Laghuta dasa panchacha
Mataji. Kshanan pancha Word to word meaning Nimesha. The duration of time called a Nimesha. Three lover. The duration of three lovers. Geya is to be known. Amanata. It is so called. They. Traya. Three. Kshana. The duration of time called a Kshana. Kshanan. Such Kshanas. Panacha. 5. Vidu. One should understand. Kastham. The duration of time called a Kastha. Laghu. The duration of time called a Laghu. Ta. Those. Dasapancha. 15. Cha. Also. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. The duration of time of three lovers is equal to one Nimesha. The combination of three Nimesha makes one Kshana. 5 kshanas combined together make 1 kastha, and 15 kasthas make 1 laghu. Purport. By calculation, it is found that 1 laghu is equal to 2 minutes. The atomic calculation of time in terms of Vedic wisdom may be converted into present time with this understanding. So when I was preparing for this talk, many devotees told, Prabhu, you got a very difficult chapter. I was like, yeah, I read it long time ago, but I have to go through again. And when I started reading, then I realized, yes, it's difficult. Especially when it comes for calculation, timing, and the creation. It's very technical, and generally we don't find rasa in there, and it feels like boring. So before I start giving any class, I'm seeking blessings from all of the devotees who are assembled here, and devotees, those who are online, so that I can speak something that is beneficial, pleasing to the devotees, and in line of our Srila Prabhupada's teaching. So seeking blessings from all of you devotees. Jai, Hare Krishna. So here Srila Prabhupada in his purport, he says, Laghu is equal to 2 minutes. In the same way, if we read further, then it comes Nadika, which equals to 30 minutes. 1 Nadika is equal to 30 minutes. And then 1 Muhurta is equal to 1 hour. In some scriptures it is like 45 minutes, in somewhere it says like 1 hour. That's why in the morning we say Brahma Muhurat. Generally Brahma Muhurat is 1.5 hours before the sunrise. That is Muhurta. Then comes Prahar. 1 Prahar is equal to 3 hours. And then comes the days and night, which is equal to 24 hours. And then comes fortnight. 15 days, 1 fortnight is equal to 15 days. Then comes month. 1 month is equal to 30 days. Then comes season. Each season is valid for 2 months. So in total, how many seasons are there? As per Vedic calculation, 6 seasons are there. Then comes Ayana. Ayana means movement of the sun. We say Uttarayan and Dakshinayan. Yeah, and that comes every 6 months. Every 6 months, sun goes from either from north to south or from south to north. And then comes 1 year, which is equivalent to 12 months. If one just read just the verse, one would not be able to understand what exactly is being described here. So that's why when you read Srila Prabhupada's purport, things get clear, transparent. If I read again the purport, by calculation it is found that 1 laghu is equal to 2 minutes. Yeah, 1 laghu is equal to 2 minutes, which is not in the Bhagavatam verse. But Prabhupada is making it clear so that we can understand it. The atomic calculation of time in terms of Vedic wisdom may be converted into present time with this understanding. Right? So Srila Prabhupada is giving us this knowledge that how, by using the terms, the Sanskrit terms, we can actually calculate our modern timings. So when we read scriptures, when we read Śrimad Bhāgavatam, it can be understood in 3 levels. The first one is as it is, right? Whatever is written, just read it and understand it. The second level of understanding is understanding as it is, then trying to analyze it, how to apply as per the modern context, as per current time. In terms of application, how can we apply it? That is second level of understanding. And then comes the third level of understanding, when we read the scripture, and that is generally by the pure devotees, acharyas like Srila Prabhupada. When acharyas read the scripture, when they read the verses, they don't just read as it is, just the translation, but they also think about, okay, how to apply, right? When we read the scripture as it is, and we think, okay, I understood it, now how can I apply in my life? That is more about me. But when the acharyas, they read, they think about others. How can I present in such a way so that people in general can understand it, apply in their life, and get benefit from the scripture? The scriptures can be read and understood in these 3 levels. Other day I was reading one of the purport, is 3rd Canto, 5th chapter, verse number 51. The chapter entitled Vidura's Talk with Maitreya. And in that purport, when I read this purport, I got amazed and I was able to relate with this 3 level of understanding when you read the scripture. So in that purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Jai Jai Shri Radha Gokulanand ki, Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki, Gaur Nitai ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. So in that purport, Srila Prabhupada says, the Lord creates this material world and impregnates the material energy with the living entities who will act in the material world. All these actions have a divine plan behind them. So what Srila Prabhupada is saying, Lord creates this material world and impregnates the material energy with the living entities who will act in the material world. So that is the first reason. But then Srila Prabhupada says, all these actions have a divine plan behind it. And what is that plan? The plan is to give the conditioned soul who so desire it a chance to enjoy sense gratification. But there is another plan behind the creation. To help the living entities realize that they are created for the transcendental sense gratification of the Lord and not for their individual sense gratification. So if you read the translation, just the verse, the only explanation which is given, this material world is created, why? For the sense gratification of the living entities. But Srila Prabhupada is saying, okay, that is the first reason, but there is a plan behind this plan, which we cannot see. If we read the scripture, we cannot see that. But when an acharya, they read the scripture, they can see the plan behind the plan. Okay, and what Prabhupada is explaining here? And the plan behind the creation to help the living entities realize that they are created for the transcendental sense gratification of the Lord and not for their individual sense gratification. This is the constitutional position of the living entities. So that's why it's very important to hear the lectures or hear the talks from the acharyas, from pure devotees like Srila Prabhupada, to read the scriptures, not just to read, but also to associate with them. So that's it's very, very important. When we read, we should read in line with the mood of the acharyas. Then only we can understand the scriptures as it is. Otherwise, what happens? When we read the scriptures, then our false ego, our anarthas come in the middle. It don't let us understand the scripture the way acharyas want to present us, right? Or the way Krishna want to present us. But when we read in line with the purport of the acharyas, then we can understand their mood, then we can understand how can we apply in our life, and also how can we present to others. Yeah, once, one devotee was giving a very analogical example in relation to why to read the scripture, and that to in line with the mood of the acharyas. So there was a Gurukul in, I think it was early 80s. There was a Gurukul, and in that Gurukul, the boys were very naughty. What do you mean by naughty? So every day or every other day, they used to make a plan to beat someone. And how they beat the other boy? So let's say someone is sleeping. So 10, 15 of them come with their blankets, and all of them put their blanket on that boy, right? So let's like 10 or 15 blanket is on one person, and he's sleeping, and all of them start beating. All of them start beating him, yeah? And then few seconds, they just disappear and go to their bed and sleep. And when this boy is struggling, coming out of the blankets and try to find, oh, who has beat me? Then everyone is sleeping. Yeah? No one is there. So this devotee was giving this example. In this material world, the living entities, the jivas, are getting punished or getting the slap from Maya Devi in this way. Yeah? And there are so many coverings. Yeah? Now, Adhyatmik, Adi Devik, Adi Bhautik Kales. There are so many Kaleses. And all the living entities are getting suffering. Yeah? Getting punishment by Maya Devi. But then how to understand it? Just like this boy, if you want to understand who has bit him, then he needs someone who was out of the group can come and say, okay, these are the people who made the plan and beat you. In the same way, when we read the scripture, then we understand, okay, I'm getting all of this kind of suffering because of these reasons, right? So in this material world, we cannot understand the cause of our suffering, we cannot understand the cause of the happiness. But when you read the scripture, through the vision of scripture, we can understand, okay, what is the cause of my suffering? What is the cause? And especially, what is the purpose of my human life? So that we can understand only by reading the scripture. And but when we try to preach to someone, okay, you should read the Śrimad Bhāgavatam, read Bhagavad Gita, and get some benefit from this wisdom, from the scripture. They say, oh, we are busy, we don't have time, or I don't like to read, right? So then, it's like a drama which devotees do it coming to my mind. It's called Kailash and Narad Muni drama. So in that drama, in that story, what happens? Narad Muni, once he was on his tour, on his divine tour, he found one person like Kailash. He asked that person, Kailash, I'm going to Vaikuntha. Would you like to come with me? I can take you, Vaikuntha Loka. Then Kailash said, oh, Narad Muni, thank you for your offer. But my kids are very small. They're going to school. I need to take care of them. Maybe next time. Then Narad Muni said, okay, fine, I will come next time. Then after a few years he came. His kids were grown up. And they also started working. They're also supporting in the business. And Narad Muni said, okay, now your kids are grown up. Come, join me. We'll go to Vaikuntha Loka. Kailash said, oh, Narad Muni, I would love to come. But you know what? My kids are so irresponsible. They don't know how to handle the business. They don't know how to handle the money. So I have to be there so that I can guide them. Then Narad Muni said, okay, as you wish. Narad Muni went back. And he came after a few years. And when he came, then he asked Kailash, he called for Kailash. Then his children came and he said, oh, actually our father passed away. And Narad Muni got surprised. Oh no, he was such a good person. He didn't got the Krishna consciousness. And Narad Muni, as he was walking out of the house, then there was a dog outside of the house. He was barking. He was barking very loud. And Narad Muni looked at him, because Narad Muni can also understand the language of the animals. And that dog was saying, Narad Muni, it's me, Kailash, look at me. Then Narad Muni said, oh, Kailash, what happened to you? Oh, Narad Muni, what to say? And I was like, my kids are irresponsible and my grandchildren are worse than them. They don't know how to manage the house. They don't know how to manage the business. And so that's why I, again, took this rebirth so that I can protect my house, I can protect the money. So that's why I'm taking care of them. Narad Muni said, oh, Kailash, why you are taking so much of trouble? Still you can come with me, right? You can come with me, I will take you to Vaikuntha. He said, Narad Muni, just now I explained to you, my kids are irresponsible. I have to safeguard my house, I have to safeguard my property. And these foolish people, my children, they are not keeping the money in the bank. They're keeping everything in the locker, in the house. What if someone come and steal the money? Then Narad Muni understood. Oh my God, okay. He said, okay, fine, I'm going, I will come later. Narad Muni left. Narad Muni came after a few years. And when Narad Muni came, that dog was also died. And Narad Muni said, oh my God, it was the last opportunity. And see what happened to this Kailash. He died again. And Narad Muni was again walking away. As he was walking, then there is a paddy field, field for farming. So Narad Muni saw there was a snake and was making sound. Shh, shh, shh. And Narad Muni looked at him. And the snake started talking. Narad Muni, it's me, Kailash, it's me, Kailash. Now what happened to you? What to say, Narad Muni? My children, they are so irresponsible, they don't take care of the farm. And the neighbors, the animals, the elephant, they come and they spoil the all farming. So that's why I'm protecting my farm. And I'm very busy. 24 hours, I'm in service, right? So I cannot go. I know you're going to ask me, come to Vaikuntha. Sorry, I'm busy. Maybe next time. Better luck next time, not this time. Then Narad Muni understood, he's a gone case. Then Narad Muni started shouting, oh, there is a snake, there is a snake, there is a snake. Then all of his children and grandchildren, they came with a stick. And you know what they did? They started beating the snake. And that snake, he was trying to speak with, with his children. Don't beat me, don't beat me. I'm Kailash, your father. But how snake talk? Shh, shh, shh. And they were thinking, oh my God, the snake is trying to bite us. They started hitting him even harder. And at the end, the snake died. But when the snake was dying, one good thing, he remembered the invitation of Narad Muni. He was able to remember Narad Muni. And then his next life, he became a devotee. And he practiced spirituality, perfected his life, and went back to the spiritual world. So in the same way, many people in this world, or even sometimes we as a devotee, we are very busy with services, right? We are very busy with different services, with different activities. And when it comes to read the scripture, when it comes to practice Krishna consciousness more intensively, we have one excuse: I'm busy, right? So from this Kailash story, we can understand life is very uncertain. It's very uncertain. We don't know when death is going to come. We don't know. So we have very less time. At least Parikshit Maharaj had 7 days of notice period. But we don't have notice period of 7 seconds. So we should take this opportunity, whenever there's the opportunity to read the scripture, to hear Bhagavatam, to share Bhagavatam, we should be enthusiastic to read, to hear, and to share. Right? Because this is a very, very rare opportunity for us to practice Krishna consciousness, make our life perfect, and then go back to Godhead. Sankaracharya says a very wonderful thing. He says, Balastavat krida shakta, tarunastavat taruni shakta, vriddhastavat chinta magna, parame brahmani kopi na lagna. What's the translation? Childhood is lost in the attachment of different games and different play. The youth is lost in attachment to the opposite sex. Old age with worry and anxiety, thinking over many things. But then where is the time to think about the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Right? So that's why we should always try to meditate. Always try to meditate. I got this wonderful opportunity to practice Krishna consciousness. Am I utilizing it properly? So we should always ask this question. And the best platform or the best opportunity to ask this question is to coming to Bhagavatam class. Because when you come to the Bhagavatam class, all of the verses, directly or indirectly, make us question this thing. Am I serious with my spiritual practice? Am I taking this opportunity properly or not? Srila Prabhupada said 4 things. Books are the basis. Purity is the force. Utility is the principle. And preaching is the essence. Right? So books are the basis. We should read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, not just read, try to understand the 3 levels, level 1, level 2, level 3. And second one is the purity is the force. When you read the scripture, we get the purity. Then also by following the regulative principles, we get the purity. So internal purity by our sadhana and swadhyaya, external purity by following the regulative principle. Then comes utility is the principle. We have to utilize each and everything. And the most important thing is our time, the time which we got. Chanakya Pandit says, even if you give like millions of gold coins, you won't be able to purchase even one moment of time. So time is the most precious thing. So we have to always meditate on that. How am I utilizing my time? Even, Krishna says that how devotees are avyartha kalotvam. They don't waste a single moment of their time. Then preaching is the essence. We should try to preach whatever we know. I think it's early 1966. Devotees asked Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada, we are very new in Krishna consciousness. How can we preach? Srila Prabhupada said, hear 2 sentences and repeat those same 2 sentences, right? So you have to hear Bhagavatam and just repeat what we heard. We don't need to manufacture anything new. Whatever we are hearing, that's more than enough. We can repeat those things. So preaching is the essence. So Prabhupada's, each and every word has so much deep meaning. If we try to meditate on each and every word, it's like we can write so many hundreds of books. I remember, like in early days when we were getting trained to give classes or talks, so we were suggested, okay, hear Prabhupada's lecture and try to repeat what Prabhupada said. Generally, Prabhupada lectures are very small, like half an hour, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. And when you start making notes, it goes like, 2, 3, 4 pages. And when we repeat, it takes more than 1 hour to cover all of those points. So Srila Prabhupada talks are compressed with deep meanings and deep understanding, right? And when we read, when we meditate on it, and when we try to preach, then it expands, then it opens, right? So that's why it's very important to hearing Srila Prabhupada's class and repeating in that mood. So the 3 ways of reading or understanding scripture. The first one is reading as it is, and understanding word by word as per the translation. The second level of understanding is we read it, we try to understand, try to analyze, try to connect, and then try to apply in our life. Try to find some ways how we can apply in our life. And then the third level is the way the pure devotees, they read and understand. When they read, they don't just read for themselves. They don't just read to apply in their life, but they read to share to others. They understand the deep meaning, the deep meaning of the scripture. Then how to understand, then what is the way? Then all of you might be thinking, okay, level 1 is good. We are on that. Level 2 is somehow it's good. We're able to understand, able to apply in our life. Then what about the level 3? How can we understand the scripture the way Krishna is trying to speak, the way Acharyas is actually understanding it? So for that, it is very important that we read every day and we read with very humble attitude. And we should be open, our mind should be open. We should not let anything come inside our mind. When we are reading the scripture, we should let the scripture do its work. What do I mean by that? I think last year, one devotee asked a question in one of the Bhagavatam class to His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that Maharaj, how can we understand or how can we deeply study the scriptures? And Radhanath Maharaj said very wonderful thing. Radhanath Maharaj said, when we are reading scripture, so here in class, we should allow the scripture, we should allow Śrimad Bhāgavatam to influence us, right? We should allow Śrimad Bhāgavatam to influence us. And how it can happen? When we regularly associate with Bhāgavatam, when we read with open-minded and when we read with humble attitude. Then only we can read Śrimad Bhāgavatam in a proper way, and then only Śrimad Bhāgavatam can influence us. But then it comes like, okay, but how should I understood? It's helping me. It's I'm learning that process. So once Srila Prabhupada, I think he was giving this lecture 1971 in New York. And Srila Prabhupada was actually walking, and then he was coming toward 26th Avenue to give a Bhagavatam class. And while walking, Srila Prabhupada crossed a shop, and there were a few mannequin were there, like the mannequin for the display of the clothes. And Srila Prabhupada was crossing that shop. Srila Prabhupada saw a father and a son. They were walking, and they were also crossing the shop. And the child, the son, he started crying that, "Father, I need that doll, I need that girl, I need that girl, I need that girl." And the father was trying to make him understand, like, "Oh, that's just a doll, that's not a real person." He said, no, I want it, I want it, I want it, I want it. And Srila Prabhupada, when he was explaining, he was laughing, he was chuckling, when he was explaining this thing. So he said, "See, this boy, he's foolish. He don't know the difference between living and non-living. He's just getting attracted to this mannequin. And in the same way, the father may be fancy for the real girl who is inside the shop." And Prabhupada was laughing. And Srila Prabhupada said, "But a yogi or a bhakta, a devotee, is not get attracted toward that girl or toward any person. A real yogi or bhakta get attracted toward the soul who is inside the body. And that yogi is the real yogi." So we can see that how Srila Prabhupada connect the day-to-day activities, the incidents, with Śrimad Bhāgavatam. So this is the vision. This is the vision of a pure devotee. They see Krishna everywhere. They connect everything with Krishna. And then Srila Prabhupada was explaining more into this topic. Then how can we understand? When we have our mobile phone with us, it has like a front camera, right? We use the front camera to take a selfie, right? We use the front camera to take a selfie. And then there are some CCTV cameras, there are some CCTV cameras here, and that CCTV camera covers all the people who are in this premises. And then there is a satellite camera, which is outside of the Earth planet. And that is covering each and every nook and corner of the whole area, the whole planet, right? So reading scripture, you can relate reading scripture on 3 levels with this one. When you read just as it is, just for our own benefit, that is like a selfie camera, right? And when we read, understand, and try to apply in our life, that's like a CCTV camera that is covering all the people who is in our premises. But when the acharyas, they read the scripture, they read just like a satellite camera, which covers each and everything. They think about all the people in the whole world, right? Not just in one country, not just in one state or in one place. No, they think of all the people in the whole creation. So that's why we say, Jagat Guru, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. So that's the Srila Prabhupada is not a guru just for, ISKCON or Gaudiya Parampara. No, Srila Prabhupada is Jagat Guru. He's the guru of the whole creation, the entire creation. And Srila Prabhupada not just think of human being, he thinks of trees, animals, insects, and everyone, right? So the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita can be read on these 3 levels. And just one example, just to give how Srila Prabhupada has always this mood of preaching, always have the mood of the compassion. 1975, 10th of September 1975, Srila Prabhupada was giving a class in Vrindavan. And this class, Srila Prabhupada, and he was giving a class on the 6th canto, first verse of first chapter of 6th canto. And there, Prabhupada was again and again speaking about compassion, 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 compassion. But that's the canto where Ajamila story is there. There is nothing in relation to compassion. But why Srila Prabhupada is again and again bringing this point? This is totally out of context. Totally out of context. There are no verses where it talks about compassion. It talks about Ajamil. But if you read the last chapter of the fifth canto, there is a description of all the hellish planet. There is a description of all the hellish planet, and there it is described how people go to different hellish planet as per their karma. So Srila Prabhupada was actually carrying this mood of compassion. This mood of compassion when he was explaining the Ajamila pastime. And there, in general, what Prabhupada says, in our ISKCON, if you read, if you hear Srila Prabhupada's lectures, how Srila Prabhupada starts generally the lectures, like, so, Parikshit Maharaj asked this question, right? And most of our talks, because we have been hearing Srila Prabhupada's lecture, like Prabhupada always says, so one devotee was saying, during Bhāgavatam class, many devotees fell asleep. Why? Because the preacher tells so many times, so, the devotees get into the sleep mode, right? Just a funny thing. In that lecture, Srila Prabhupada was explaining again and again. In general, Prabhupada say, chant Hare Krishna sincerely, practice bhakti sincerely, make your life perfect. That's what Srila Prabhupada says again and again. But here in this section, in this lecture, Srila Prabhupada was saying, even if you fall down, still come back to Krishna consciousness. Don't run away. Come back to Krishna consciousness. Why? Because Krishna will take care of you. Krishna will take care of you. Even if you fall down, don't run away. Come to Krishna. Krishna will take care of you. And again, Prabhupada was repeating. Even though it was a section of Ajamila, there is nothing in relation to compassion. But Srila Prabhupada was bringing this point again and again. So Prabhupada went in the mood of Parikshit Maharaj. Right? And actually there is a letter which Srila Prabhupada wrote to Bhagavatananda Prabhu. It's a letter, 8th of July, 1972. So what Srila Prabhupada says is a very, very important thing. So I'm just reading the last 2 lines of that letter. Srila Prabhupada says, try to always study our books and see our philosophy from different lights of directions. Become convinced yourself of this knowledge. And without a doubt, all of your difficulties of mind will disappear forever, and you will see Krishna face to face. Right? So what we have to do? Try to always study our books and see our philosophy from different lights of directions. First, become convinced yourself of this knowledge. Without a doubt, then what is the result? First, all of your difficulties of mind will disappear. Because all of the difficulties are in our mind. It is all about mind game. So all of our difficulties is in our mind. So when you read the scripture, then our mind will get pure, it will get clean, and all of the difficulties will go away. That's first, forever. And second, you will see Krishna face to face. And that's what Prabhupada says in this letter. And it's very important to read, not just to read the scripture, not just to hear the classes, but also to get convinced with that knowledge, with that philosophy, right? And then, one devotee, he was in a Bhagavatam class, I think few months ago, I was listening to this class. His Grace Radheshyam Prabhu, he asked a question to Radhanath Swami Maharaj, that Maharaj, we have been reading and listening all of these scriptures, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and after some years, we literally know everything, right? We know like all the different pastimes, all the different stories, right? And devotees, they say, okay, I know all of these pastimes, I know all of these stories, then what next? Then should we look for some new philosophy? Should we look for some new knowledge? And then Radhanath Swami Maharaj said, it is not important whether you know or not know when it comes to the spiritual subject matter. Knowing is not important. Associating with that subject matter is more important. That means even if you know you come to the class, and here you are associating with that knowledge, and that is more important. Knowing the knowledge is not important, but associating with the knowledge is more important. Then Maharaj asked a follow-up question. Maharaj asked a question to Radheshyam Prabhu. What do you think? Did Haridas Thakur knew the glories of the holy name? He said, yes. Was he hearing the Bhāgavatam and chanting the holy name? Radheshyam Prabhu said, yes. So the same thing you have to do. Even though you know, you should associate with the holy name, with the Bhāgavatam. And then immediately another devotee asked a question. I don't want to take name. That devotee asked, oh Maharaj, it's like devotees are committing so many offenses. They're committing so many offenses. So by committing these offenses and while doing services, is it not they are delaying their going back to Godhead? If one commit offenses, they can't go back to Godhead. And when he asked this question, then Radhanath Maharaj again looked at Radheshyam Prabhu and he said, that association of the subject matter is more important than knowing. And then he looked back to the other devotee and said, going back to Godhead is not important, but offering your heart to Krishna is more important. Right? Going back to Godhead will come later, but first you give your heart to Krishna. That is more important. So therefore, the study of scripture, this is the way how we can actually come closer to Śrimad Bhāgavatam. We can actually come closer to Krishna. And other day I was listening one of the lecture by Braj Bihari Prabhu, and he was telling a very, very wonderful thing. He said in his life 2 incidents happened which made him convinced of this one thing, that how it is important to give our heart to Krishna. So he was telling, from Gaudiya Math, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, once he came to the Jihu temple and he was giving class to the devotees. And actually he was giving class to the brahmacharis, and then and Maharaj was saying only 2 things. Chant Krishna's name and hear Krishna's name. He gave class of 45 minutes and he was saying, all of you are chanting Krishna's name, keep chanting. You are hearing Krishna's name, keep hearing. And the same thing he repeated for like 45 minutes. Yeah, and at that time he was 94 years old. 94 years old. And Prabhuji was saying he didn't say anything else. For the whole 45 minutes he was saying only these 2 things. Are you chanting Krishna's name? Chant Krishna's name. Are you hearing Krishna Katha? Keep hearing Krishna Katha. And even when he was going, he was not able to walk, so his disciples were helping him to, to get into the car. And even when he get into the car, he said, in his Bengali accent, keep chanting, keep hearing, right? So this is one incident. He said, like he understood this is the essence of the whole bhakti. He practiced bhakti, Krishna consciousness, whole life. And at this age, he found this conclusion. Chant Krishna's name and hear Krishna Katha. And another incident which he was sharing, so once His Holiness Sachinandan Swami Maharaj, he also came for one of the program, and Vraj Bihari Prabhu got the service to take care of Maharaj, and it's like arranging all of his room. So that evening he arranged the room of Sachinandan Maharaj, set his bed, mosquito nets, which you only find in India. He already arranged everything and he was about to go. Then Sachinandan Maharaj said, "Oh Prabhu, you did so much service to me, I want to give you Krishna." And Vraj Bihari Prabhu was like, "Wow, you want to give me Krishna?" And in his mind, he was calculating, he was doing all the calculation. Okay, how is he going to manifest Krishna? He's going to give heart to heart, or he's going to give me a mantra? What is he going to do? He said, "Okay, Prabhu, sit." And Vraj Bihari Prabhu sat on the floor, and Maharaj was sitting on the bed. And Sachinandan Maharaj started speaking about the Putana pastime and Aghasur pastime. So he spoke for about 15 minutes. And Vraj Bihari Prabhu was so happy. Wow, I got to know of Krishna Katha. And then when Maharaj finished, then Raji Bihari Prabhu said, okay Maharaj, thank you. And now, can I serve you in any other way? Do you need any other help? Sachinandan Maharaj said, I give you Krishna, now you give me Krishna. And he was like shocked, oh my God, what can I say? So after, like fumbling for a few seconds, then he just remember few points which he heard, from Bhagavatam class. He just tried to say something for like 10 minutes. And then Sachinandan Maharaj was so happy. He said, yes, Prabhu, in this way, we should give each other Krishna. Understood? He said, yes, Prabhu. So we can see like these devotees who are in the, it's like who are on the higher platform, who are elevated devotees, they are always meditating on Krishna. They're always connecting with Krishna. And then the final thing which I want to say before we conclude our class. When we come to Bhagavatam class, when we hear Bhagavatam, when we read the scripture, many a times we try to find some points. We try to find some acronym. We try to find something which is new to me. Right? We're always in a mood, okay, something, I need something, right? So it's like a determination mode. It is very important to come to Bhagavatam class to learn something, to learn the verse, to memorize the verse, to formulate your theory, to formulate some acronym so that you can memorize it, you can remember it. But that is more on the level of our mind, more on the level of our intellect. That is very good. We should come to Bhagavatam class to learn something new, to learn something so that we can apply in our life and we can share to others. But the more important than this is longing for Krishna. When we come to the Bhagavatam class, any, not just Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, any Krishna Katha, along with this determination mode, we should also sometimes try to turn on our longing for Krishna mode. What do I mean by that? When we're reading or when you're hearing the Krishna Katha, is it helping me to develop my longingness, my love for Krishna or not? Is it helping me to look for Krishna? Is it helping me to get the motivation to serve Krishna selflessly? To serve Krishna with my heart, right? Is it helping me or not? So that's why when we read, when we hear, we should try to sometime turn off our determination mode, which is always looking for some kind of logic, some kind of new thing in the talk. But sometime we should try to turn on our longing mode. And when we turn on that longing mode, then what happens? Then Krishna will come and connect in our heart. He will manifest himself in our heart. Because bhakti is not the business of mind. Bhakti is the business of heart. Right? So as we are progressing in Krishna consciousness in our practice, we should also try to develop this longing mode. When we hear the katha, when we hear the class, it should develop our longing mode for Krishna. And final instance, it's like a small example I want to give before we conclude our class. Just like today is Ekadashi, a special Ekadashi, Pandav Nirjala Ekadashi. As I said, when I was preparing for this class, I was very nervous. Even now I'm very nervous. Because, when you prepare for this kind of subject, this kind of topic, it's very analytical. There's so many calculations are there. It's very difficult to understand. And it gets even more difficult when the purport is short, because there is not much to explain. And it's even get more difficult when you can't find any lecture of Prabhupada on the same topic. And when I found this, when devotees asked me to give a talk on this one, I was like, okay, Prabhu, what should I talk? Because in my previous lectures, there was appearance or disappearance of some of the acharyas. I tried to explain something from their life. But here, okay, then that devotee Prabhuji told me, okay, tell something in line with Prabhupada. I said, okay, that's a good suggestion. I tried to find, okay, Prabhupada lecture on 3rd Canto, 11th chapter, verse number 7. No lecture. Okay, fine. Any other devotee? No lecture. I was like, my God, it's going to be difficult. So I was preparing, and today is obviously Nirjala Ekadasi, and yesterday when I was in the Bhakta house, then one devotee asked a very beautiful question that, not to me, two devotees were discussing. He said, Prabhu, tomorrow is Nirjala Ekadasi, and if I don't drink, and it's the first time I'm doing Nirjala Ekadasi, and because of some reason, if I leave my body, do you think Krishna will be still happy with me? So I was just thinking, wow, devotees are so much, concern of Nirjala Ekadasi. And why I'm telling this, it's like I told this incident, because once in a Bhāgavatam class, one devotee asked a question to my Guru Maharaj, his son is Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj, that Maharaj, on Ekadasi day, some devotees says, we should not eat any cooked food. We should not eat any boiled food. And some devotees say we should do Nirjala. And it was like they were different things devotees were saying. Then Guru Maharaj said, the whole purpose of Ekadasi, the whole purpose of any fasting is to think less about yourself and your body and think more about Krishna, and you're practicing your Krishna consciousness. So the fasting is not to think more about us or to think more about the fasting and the food, but the whole purpose of fasting is that we less focus on the fasting and more focus on how we can develop our Krishna consciousness. It's less about the hunger of our belly, it's more about hunger of our heart, right? So that is the purpose of the fasting, and especially Ekadasi, which comes twice a month, every 15 days it comes. So yeah, that's okay. Thank you very much. I want to conclude here. If there is any feedback, any question, maybe for 1 or 2 minutes. I don't know, it's like, what time are we supposed to finish? Okay. Breakfast. Okay. No need, okay. Yes, Prabhu, you're saying something. Yeah, the mic is coming.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
I don't understand what you mean by the difference between knowledge, like associating with knowledge, and actually knowing the knowledge.
Yes. So knowing knowledge is more about on intellectual level. Oh, I know this story. Just like any pastime, maybe Jagai Madhai pastime or Gajendra Moksha pastime. Oh, I know the story. So sometime when we go to class and the same katha is going on, then we think, oh, I know the story, right? But we don't understand that these stories, the pastimes, are transcendental pastimes. They are meant to purify our heart, not to please our mind. So that's what Maharaj meant to say. The pastimes are not just meant to knowing. Okay, I know the pastime. It's about associating. It's about gaining some knowledge. It's trying to associate with Krishna through the pastime.
Is it kind of like a difference between sort of gyan and vigyan?
Gyan and vigyan.
Knowledge and realized knowledge.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
Right. Yeah, sure.
Thank you. Nice class, wonderful class. But in the beginning of your talk, you explained about like prahar or lava, and then you mentioned about the months, and you mentioned about the seasons, and then you mentioned about the year, and then you mentioned about 12 months. So my question was related to that. Is that okay? So I know the answer. Yeah, I'm for the benefit of others. So you said in the Vedic culture, the month is 12 months and into 30, because 15 is the cycle of the moon, like fortnight, and then 15 into 2. You said Ekadashi comes twice, 11 day of waxing and waning moon. So then the total amount of days in a year should be 360. Yeah, my question over here is 12 months, 6 seasons, yeah, and 360 days. Yeah. So where is the 6.5 days going? Can you?
I think that's why this Adhik Mas comes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why this. I think you can explain. I haven't been to like deep calculation, but my understanding is, as per this Vedic calculation, the year is not 365 days. It is, I think, 360 days, and then this 6666 days it accumulates and makes 1 month, and
That is 18.
second.
18 and a 3/4. How come 1 month is added?
This is not an Adhik Mas. I don't know the in-depth of the whole calculation, but I know this is Adhik Mas.
Anybody knows? Because anybody knows? Yeah.
Mataji. No.
Every year, not every 4 years, I think. Yeah, that Purushottam month.
Adhik Mas, yes.
Every 4 or 5 years? How many years is it? I think
Every 4 years.
Yeah, every 4 years, Purushottam month.
3 years. Yeah.
No, I think 4, maybe.
I don't know how often, maybe. It comes every 3 years, which it comes to the 4th year. It comes on the 4th year, so yeah. So I think it's, see, the Purushottam month or the Adhik Mas, because the calculation as per our Vedic scripture and the modern calendar, it doesn't match. So that's every 4 year, this Purushottam month comes, which is also known as Adhik Mas. So 1 month is extra in that year. So yeah, that's my understanding. Thank you. Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you. And in leap year, it's only 1 extra day. But here in Adhik Mas, in Vedic calculation, it's Purushottam month, 1 month extra in that year. Okay. So I don't know in detail about it. Maybe some other devotees know. So I don't know in detail about that one. Okay, I think no other questions. Great, thank you. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthra Śrimad Bhāgavatam ki, Samveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki, Nitai Gaur Premanande.
Do you want me to put it back for you? Mataji, would you like me to?
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतां